Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a deadly duo in love that loves reacting to some death battle.
Yes, we do.
So this is a death battle, Mr. Satan versus Dan Hibiki, Dragon Ball versus Street Fighter. And so this is one we held off on watching because we wanted to finish up on Dragon Ball Z Kai. And you might be saying, well, you haven't finished Dragon Ball Z Kai yet, but we have on Patreon, so you can go ahead and check out that. You can get early ad-free access. There's a link down below in the description of this video. Yeah, and then we're gonna go on to Dragon Ball Super after that. And, you know, Mr. Satan was someone that we made fun of a lot when we first started our journey with him. But then, you know, he showed up and had some key clutch moments. Yeah,
he's he was one of those characters that it was kind of like a love him and leave him relationship. You were like, what is the point of this guy? 1 minute, and the next you're like, oh my god, I love him, he's the best. But then he went back to being egomaniacal and like, wait, why is he here again? So it was a very up and down journey with him, which was great, and like it ultimately ended on a great high note. And of course, we adore Videl. So there's a special place for Mr. Satan in our hearts when it comes to the Dragon Ball Z universe.
Yeah, and so we do death battle bets here, and Bethany's going to explain that real quick.
So in the past, Ken and I have a competitive streak. We thought it would be interesting to place bets on who the winner was going to be. So last year, to make it interesting, we decided to add money. And so last year and now continuing into this year, we are actually going to place a dollar amount next to the person who we feel is going to win. And the way that this works is we watch the first half of the video where they talk about their armors, weapons, skills, advantages, disadvantages. Then we pause. We place our bets with our dollar amount. And then we watch the actual death battle to see who will win the higher amount this week. Whoever has the highest amount by Thanksgiving of this year, that person will get to choose our cosplay outfits for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. If you have not watched our death battles in the past, you should check those out. Last year, we were Jessica Rabbit and Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
And the year before that, we were...
Dante and Bayonetta.
There it is. Yeah, Dante and Bayonetta.
Yeah.
So some fun stuff to check out there.
A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready. Not thinking, yet not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come.
Damn right.
Some fighters are dumb enough to ignore the legendary Bruce Lee's words. Like Hercule Satan, the world martial arts champion.
And Dan Hibiki, the Psycho Street Fighter.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Nice.
The Earth was in danger, the future of mankind threatened by a monster named Cell. All would be lost unless a hero could best him in the ring of champions.
The hope of the world lay on the shoulders and afro of one man, Hercule Satan.
That's the best.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Officially, Mr. Satan is the world martial arts champion and chosen savior
Undisputed in
of
quotes.
Or so he would have you believe.
Hey, if I could lie that well, I'd make everybody think I'm king of the world too.
Loves
Or
eating
even
spaghetti.
God.
But before he was the hero of the people, Mr. Satan went by Mark. Eager to learn, Mark sought to master the art of combat.
Young Mark honed his skills in the dojo Satan Castle, which sounds awesome, but sadly no, he was not actually trained by the devil. I looked it up.
Turns out he was naturally gifted in martial arts, mostly due to his strangely good luck.
Yeah, like when he won his first world championship after his rival got food poisoning.
What?
That's not suspicious at all.
Victory in hand, Mark took the stage name Mr. Satan in honor of his dojo and to sound better for the cameras. His victories and explosive personality quickly rocketed him to a life of wealth, fame, and luxury.
Which almost came to an end when he and his master got drunk and made fun of some random guy's ponytail. Turns out this random guy just so happened to be a superpowered immortal mercenary who then murdered his master.
With his tongue?
Remember, kids, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words should never be used against a tree-surfing murderer.
From that day forward, Mr. Satan swore he would never fight anyone whose identity was a secret or who seemed out of his league.
Seemed to forget about that when Cell showed up. Anyway, somewhere along the line, Mr. Satan married a lady named Miguel, and after a round or two in the ovarian ring, had a daughter. Oh, Oh, and then his wife died.
Wow, come on, Boomstick, show some tact. Despite his grief, Mr. Satan never let his loss interrupt his lifestyle.
He filled the hole in his life the only way he knew how, with more martial arts. He mastered techniques like his dynamite kick and megaton punch, which sounds
Having
like
a wild
it would make
time
you
all the
explode or
time.
Something epic like that.
But they're actually just regular kicks and punches. He really only named them so he could scream awesome words while fighting. Hey, this is anime after all.
I feel more than a little underwhelmed by this guy right now.
Well, Mr. Satan's techniques were enough for him to legitimately win the 24th World Martial Arts Tournament, becoming the champion of the world and chosen savior to battle Cell. But we already know how that went.
I could watch that over and over.
Yes, agreed.
In fact,
Nice.
get away from me, bitch.
Mr. Satan actively avoids fighting those who clearly outclass him, mostly to save his own reputation.
The first time he saw people flying and shooting beams from their hands, he thought it was a bunch of cheap tricks and pyrotechnics. Even after seeing the most epic Kamehameha beam struggle of all time, he still denied everything.
It's a trick. It's all a trick, I swear. Someday I'll bring it all to light. I will.
I can't believe that you're still saying that!
But just in case he finds himself in over his head, Mr. Satan is packing an assortment of capsules containing jetpacks, disguised explosives, and even missile launchers. Man, if those existed in real life, it would be a TSA nightmare.
If there's anything he's good at, it's public performance. He often weasels his way out of dangerous scenarios with lame excuses like faking stomach aches, and somehow the entire world buys his crap every single time.
I did it! For years, I've been trying to perfect a variation of the Megaton Punch that uses latent energy to cause a delayed reaction to catch my opponent off guard.
When in doubt, work the crowd.
Almost looks
I love all of you.
Who are you talking to?
Every single one of you. Like and subscribe.
Mr. Satan is a master of deception, an excellent actor, and a complete fraud. Still, he is strong enough to rip 3 phone books in half and pull 4 buses by himself. And once he actually moved faster than the untrained eye can see, but forgot bullets move fast too.
Well, if I have to say something nice about the guy, at least he's not Yamcha.
Mr. Satan has
Oh,
won the
dear.
World Martial Arts Tournament
Yamcha
over
owned.
26 times, although only one of them was legitimate.
Yeah, the other times he rigged it by having Mr. Boo kick everyone's ass and then lose to him on purpose.
Still, it's pretty impressive he managed to befriend one of the most dangerous and untamed monsters in the Dragon Ball universe.
Oh, and one time he convinced the whole world's population to stick their hands up in the air and then wave them around like they just don't care, but whatever.
Boomstick that saved the world.
Eh,
Mr. Satan is motivated by 3 things: money, fame, and his daughter, who he seems to prize above all else.
he may be a bit of a con artist, but no matter what he's up against, Mr. Satan still finds a way to rise above his fears through his own bravery. Wait, did I just say bravery? I meant thick-headedness and straight-up stupidity.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the pain. Oh.
Conceptualized in retaliation of SNK's blatant ripoff of
Love the
Capcom's
music.
characters, Dan Hibiki was always meant to be a complete joke.
Dan had no natural talent in fighting people, but his father, Go Hibiki, was a martial arts master with his own dojo.
One day, Go's dojo was visited by Sagat, an enforcer of the crime syndicate Shadaloo. As an advocate of justice, Go refused to be intimidated by the crime lord and stood up to him the only way he knew how.
By kicking his frigging eye out, then
Oh.
Sagat brutally beat him to death in front of his own son. That should teach you to mess with a 7'4" Muay Thai monster.
Yeah.
He didn't. Enraged and distraught, Dan swore he would avenge his father's death. To do so, he sought out a legendary dojo hidden in the wilderness of Japan.
This thing is more elusive than child support to my ex.
Seems like the more time we spend here, the more questions arise.
Yeah. Like, who the hell's Dad?
Against all odds, Dan found it.
Special hair.
He
Yep.
was trained by its master, Goken, the same mentor who taught Ryu and Ken such legendary techniques as the Hadoken and the Shoryuken. Dan began the difficult journey of mastering the use of ki as a weapon of justice.
Until Goku expelled him because he just just sucked.
Technically, it was because Goken didn't want his training only used for revenge, but let's face it. he
And
knew he
don't
was
forget,
wasting
you
his
suck.
time.
However, Dan's determination for vengeance continued. He took the little he had learned from Goken and ironically combined it with some Muay Thai.
This became his very own martial art, the Saikyo Ryu fighting style.
Unfortunately, while that sounds awesome, it didn't really work out.
Dan's fighting style is, well, it sucks. It's awful. There's absolutely nothing redeemable about it. I mean, he can use special moves like the Koryuken and the Den Kugyaku.
Which are like the dollar store versions of awesome stuff, like the Shoryuken and Tetsum, well, whatever it's called.
Also, Dan Kugyaku, did he seriously name one of his moves after himself?
Yeah, he's pretty full of himself, which is why the Saikyo style's strongest technique is excessive taunting. He can taunt while jumping, somehow increasing his airtime, and by focusing all his energy at once, Dan can perform a taunt so fearsome it will shock and amaze all who witness it just by being the most worthless thing they've ever seen. This is the legendary taunt.
Here I come! Hola! What's the problem? Don't underestimate me. I'm awesome! Woohoo! Piece of cake!
What?
Now, Dan can manifest his ki into a fireball projectile called the Godoken. In a way, the Godoken is symbolic of Dan himself.
Yeah, it's tiny, pathetic, and doesn't last very long.
Despite this, Dan eventually tracked down his father's killer and offered to make his left eye match his right. In turn, Sagat politely offered to reunite father and son. The long-awaited clash of fists began, a clash in which Dan was bent on retribution.
What? Oh, shoot, he won?
Yes, Dan finally achieved the recompense he had sought for so long
Wow.
and trained his entire life for, because Sagat threw the fight in pity. Completely unaware of his luck and now confident he was one of the strongest in the world, Dan founded his own dojo to unfortunately teach other people his worthless martial arts.
Thanks, Sagat. Not only have you killed this man's father, but you're ruining other kids' lives now, too.
You'll be happy to know that not many students actually enrolled in his class, because he kept forgetting to pay his phone bill and did not include his dojo's address in his commercials.
Classic Dan. By the way, what's up with the pink gi?
Well, it was originally white, but then he accidentally washed it with colors.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, making fun of Dan is fun and all, but let's be honest, he's not a complete pushover. He can take down multiple thugs at once, and even endured a beating from Ryu and Ken simultaneously.
Damn.
No matter how many
can
times
take a
he
beating.
falls, Dan will always get right back up.
And remember how Goken rejected him because of his thirst for vengeance? That's because Dan can actually tap into the Satsui no Hado, the evil, deadly energy that transformed Goken's brother Akuma into an island-smashing murderer.
What?
We're not joking here. Once Dan did access his Satsui no Hado to use the dreaded Raging Demon, a move which obliterates the victim's soul.
Damn! If Dan can do it, I can do it. All right, watch out, Wes. Here it comes. Ah!
Yeah, but how did he do it?
Ah!
Was it a complete accident and fluke?
I fell on my keys.
But more often than not, Dan's a klutz whose overconfident taunting gets him into trouble. He is his own worst enemy.
But even after crying like a baby from stubbing his toe, Dan doesn't let any of it keep him down for long. After all, who else will carry on the heroic legacy of Go Hibiki?
Koryuken!
Okay, so why don't you show?
If you can read that, I don't know if you'll be able to read it or not.
I'll put it on the if you can't read it, I'll put the titles down. Okay, and then this is who I chose. Boom. Okay.
For our next round, our beloved savior of mankind, Hercule Satan!
Oh, wait.
What?
Did you say a dollar amount with yours?
Yeah, did you say dollar with yours?
No.
Oh.
So I'm just going to add my dollar amount.
Okay.
For our next round, our beloved savior of mankind, Hercule Satan!
Okay, his belt had a smiley face.
And the challenger, the infamous creator of the Saikyo arts, Dan Hibiki! Woohoo! Here I come! Ow!
Oh my god.
Woo! Yeah. Dan.
One person.
Nice moves, Hibachi. How about you ring yourself out?
You wish, chump. I hope you're ready for a beating.
Oh God.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the worst death battle ever.
A weakling like you stands no chance.
It looks like Mr. Satan wants to end this quickly. Which of his patented finishing moves will he use?
Dynamite King.
What's this?
Oh.
He's avoided the champion's most devastating attack.
I psyched him out. He'll be too terrified to throw a single pull.
Oof.
Ouch.
Woohoo! Behold the glory of Psycho!
Whoa! Wow!
And now,
You did not just get psyched out by that.
ultimate attack!
Shinko! No. Now what I'm thinking is, what do I do?
Yeah, he thinks it's Goku's
I couldn't time it.
Kamehameha.
Yeah, I slipped through my sheer muscle mass. Yay! Holy crap, how long is this gonna take? Yeah! I've done it! After years of training and grueling exercise, this pathetic pony's cheap tricks won't work on me!
Mr. Satan.
Countering such an attack was to act like a coward!
Yeah! Wait, what?
What's this? Is it just me, or has Mr. Satan illegally smuggled weapons into the arena?
Oh crap! My backup plans! I can't go out like this! What? I've never seen these before! Obviously, my challenger snuck them into my road to get me disqualified! Can't even face me like a man!
Oh, sweet, a jetpack!
What?
Yeah. Time for the next evolution of my martial art. Ultimate Rocket Booster Psycho of Doom!
Oh my God, he's gonna kill himself.
Well, that's disappointing.
Only one more capsule left, but I don't remember what's in it. Gotta think of something fast. This guy's good. I can't track his movements.
What the heck? I mean, what a spectacle! What could the champ be planning? Oh yeah! I got this! Ah, crap.
Sound effects are great.
I can't believe it, folks! The match is still on! And Mr. Satan's limitless tenacity has worn down the challenger!
Aha! Yes, that's right. I tired him out. Me, Mr. Satan. That was my plan all along.
What am I doing? I can't lose to this joker. I have to win! For my father!
Oh no, he's going all demon?
Oh, man!
Watch closely. You're about to witness the real deal.
It looks like
Love
this
the
is
music.
end.
Yeah! This is over.
Nope.
Oh, man!
What just happened? They both died?
I've never seen anything like that!
Oh.
He punched him so hard he turned into a jukebox! Only me, the champ's new technique, the karaoke punch!
Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. happened? I needed seen my pants.
Hercules Satan!
Wow.
Now he can disappoint his father in the afterlife.
Hercule Satan and Dan Hibiki may be pretty pathetic in context, but keep in mind, before the Cell Saga, Mr. Satan was actually a legitimate world champion.
Unlike Dan, who only has one confirmed win to his name, and it was handed to him out of pity.
And Mr. Satan has proven time and time again that he is stronger than the average athletic man.
He once pulled 4 tour buses, which is nearly 60 tons, and then he punched through one of them. That's a sheet of steel right there. Dan struggles to throw a single guy over his shoulder.
Mr. Satan once broke through a tower of 19 tiles with a single chop.
Damn.
And is the only character in Dragon Ball history to have fought both Cell and Majin Buu and not die.
Think about that.
Dan's key attacks were his ace in the hole, but in true Hibiki fashion, it amounted to nothing but failure. Just like the time he managed to pull off the Raging Demon, only to be stopped by a high school girl's backpack.
The key to Dan's failure came from within.
The winner is Hercule Satan.
Okay.
Okay. So I picked Satan.
I did not.
No?
No.
You picked Dan Hibiki.
I
Why'd you
did.
pick Dan?
Because while Mr. Satan had strength, it seemed like he didn't really have any trump card to his name except sheer dumb luck. Whereas like Dan Hibiki, they said there was like that connection to the Akuma magic, and you know, he seemed to be perhaps a more in a way a more trained and accomplished fighter than Mr. Satan, because like Mr. Satan, yeah, he's had victories, but like his opponent got food poisoning. Like again, it seemed like it was never really on his merits. It was always through some other luck or device that got him to that victory. So while, yeah, he could pull some buses, I was not convinced that he would have the ability to actually win against a fighter who would perhaps be evenly matched or better matched than him.
Yeah. See, I like the... So we've done it this way, and I think this is a good way to like do it for like the final battle, but I don't like this for every single battle, because like I like hearing like, you know, the different strategies of like why we think certain person's gonna win. Because like when they explain it at the end, then it's kind of like you know, if you picked who won, I was like, oh yeah, because everything they said, that's why I thought I was gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, because that's kind of like why I thought Mr. Satan was gonna win. I'm like, well, he like really is it, like he was technically a champ. And like they talked about how he ripped like 3 phone books in half or something like that, and like so he seemed
impressive.
Yeah, he seemed like he was like incredibly strong. And then Dan just seemed like way too much of a joke character that didn't really have enough. Like I thought maybe the Akuma thing might be a trump card, like that he would pull out, because like I'm like, oh, if he can do that, but I'm like they didn't really detail on how he was able to do it, what happened, like if you know if he can always tap into that. So I'm like, okay, well maybe that if he's able to tap into it at one time. But Death Battle usually goes on like who would win more times than not. So
that was a good strategy. I have to admit, part of me in choosing Dan was thinking like I very much did not like him. And Mr. Satan, I have not liked his arrogance and his showboat personality, but at the same time, they've redeemed him plenty of times in Dragon Ball. So like I've seen his good side, and he saved a puppy. So I was like, if I choose Dan, even if I lose, at least I'll be happy because I don't actually want him to win.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So that was also part of my strategy.
So I bet $20 on Mr. Satan.
I bet 10 on Dan.
Oh no!
Yep.
You bet big on Dan. It is still early.
It is.
And so yeah. All right. Let us know what you thought about this down below. I thought like, as far as the death battle goes itself, I thought it was really fun. I you know, like that these 2 joke characters were going on. It was silly. And yeah, and then at the end, like the ending was finished. Just like, oh, he turned him into jukebox. That's his karaoke punch. That was great.
Yeah, it was fun to see the 2 of them duke it out and all the various elements that they brought into the battle.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want all of our death battle reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Mr. Satan versus Dan Hibiki, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.